Alright, so you want to know how to mod RWBY Grimm Eclipse. First things first, let's get into what you are going to need. First, you are going to need to have Unity version 5.4.1 F1, which you can get off the Unity website through archive downloads. Once you have done that, you can either set up your own scene or you can use the template scene that is down in the description of the video. So, I want to guess from the start of this, you already have a model ready to go and want to import into Grimm Eclipse. Great. First things first that you're going to do is that you're going to have to set your model to humanoid. Make sure it's set to that, and if it's done correctly or some things mess up, you want to make sure you enforce T-pose. Once that's done, you will now be able to access, you will want to go over to this folder over here and access the characters that you want to replace. We have the whole entirety of the game's playable characters: Blake, Sean, Nora, Pyrrha, Ren, Ruby, Weiss, and Yang. For which character you want to replace, you want to click on the character, you want to go over to configure, and you want to make sure they are in a T-pose. The character won't show up, but listen very carefully. You want to copy the clone from the top left in the hierarchy. You want to be done. You want to paste said character into the hierarchy in the main scene you have set up. Once that is done, you can click F and find where he is. Usually he will be at the center of the map. But at the very moment, Sean seems to be having a bit of a wrist issue. But I will probably replace the models with actually better prefabs that were given to me. But yeah. So we're going to replace him with Ren. So as we see, test scene. We enforce T-pose. We hit apply. We did not copy Ren. That is entirely my fault. So copy and paste. And Ren, I would believe, should not be having the issues Jean was having. So Ren is in a T-pose. So we grab the prefab version of Ren. We drag him into the scene. We click on this Ren, the one we have just dragged in. We set the location to 0, 0, 0, so he is at the center of the scene. And you want to remove all of the stuff from this Ren and from the clone that you pasted in from the configuration. You want to drag and drop this into here, remove that, and you want to set the scale of the character you want to 37. That not set 37. Now it's set to 37. Yippee. So, how Grim Eclipse likes to do their models. It's quite interesting because sometimes, like, the original method of how you did this was you'd grab the model that you'd plop in from the prefab and you would try and pose the character in the way that they're standing in their idle stance. And that was a very unconventional method. It was quite time consuming in a way. So, with this new method that was shown in a tutorial in this test project, it'll be there. You can look at it if you want. But let's get back to importing your model. So He is in a T pose, in a very uh, crooked T pose, but you can easily rotate him back into the center if you would like. Oh, good Byron. You can line him up. Once that is done, you can either do two things here. You can drag and drop in your character, scale him down, match the same height as Ren, and you can manually T-pose him. Or you could do the same method you did with the clone, copy and paste him while he's in T-pose, and put him in here. But at the very moment, we will just T-pose him ourselves. So make sure some parts of the body will line up because this is the way you pose your character matters and how you scale him. So do bear in mind, the do not move him. If you want to move him without things getting borked, you can move the root bone of the model. So we will pose our character, and we will appropriately move parts around to match up with Ren here. Mind all those bones. Things did not go as exactly as I planned while this model was being made. Some things got uh, completely they got ruined. But I can easily fix that. I just gotta find the bone, not the main bones of this armature. So, man, I am blind. Well, I am just blind. I am. It's in the hip hierarchy, so I will remove my bones. And we will pose the legs in the way Ren has his legs. So you will try and match it up as perfectly as you can to these legs. And vice versa with the arms. You pose the arms in the same way Ren's is. So you'll pose it, and also you will have to scale the arms if they extend far too much, which could make the model have very short arms, but either way, it's going to help it not look very, very warped in the final result. So you will do the same thing with the hands. You'll pose the hands and slap them in the exact position of where all the fingers are. But for this, I'll skip those, but you can pose them if you want, or you could just only have a ham bone ready to go. Or, well, yeah, ham bone with already a predetermined pose that you have for the character. I did that before with some of my characters where they had like fists already clenched, only with just one ham bone to save me time opposing them. But yeah, roughly you'll get the pose that you want, and once that's done, with the scene, sample scene that you get, it comes with this. You click Tools, go to Model menu, you slap in the character you want to put in, which is Ren, and I will put in my character, and it will run. And once that happens, it will be called a clone, but hit rename, and you will hide these, and the model will be there. Now, with other things, since it's ready to go, and be set as it should, you can add in shaders to this. I will put a shader in with the sample scene. It will just basically be a standard toon shader where nothing fancy. It's nothing really that fancy. It just makes it bright, but you can add any shader that is compatible with 5.4. But I'm keeping it as it is for the time being. So once everything is done, the character will only exist here, and you can drag and drop the character right over here. Once that is done, you go to asset bundle over here. You will create a new asset bundle. Name it whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Cody Jean outfit or something short, whatever floats your boat, basically. But for an example here, once that is done, you will build asset bundle. Once it is done, you will go to the asset bundle folder. You will go to Windows, and your mod will be right there. It will be a file that will be this one right here. Once that's done, I want to presume you have the mod manager for RWBY Grimm Eclipse installed. So right now you will have these files and you want to go over to model packs. And this right here is the model pack file. You want to drag and drop model pack into model packs. Once that is done, you will open up Grimm Eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
And go over to the mods, go to resource packs, and your mod will be right here. You will click on it, and we'll go over to a mission. You will click on my character, which is Ren, and there he is. He's in the game, he's running, he's doing stuff. And that is how you make yourself a RWBY Grimm Eclipse model swap mod. There is also going to be tutorials in forums to Steam community forums related to RWBY modding with further information about model stuff and sound stuff, texture stuff, and all of other stuff that you would probably want to be interested in. But this tutorial right here is just to show you how it's done or how I do it. Though do look back at this at times if the forums don't like you don't understand the forums, but I hope this helps you guys out to understand how to mod Grimm Eclipse and possibly get your own characters inside of the game. So thank you for listening. I hope you guys have a great day, and cannot wait to see what people will add to this game. It's really cool to see Grimm Eclipse get modded again, or actually modded. So see you guys later. Have a good night.